Hello, my name is Yosef Mohammadi, and this is my fourth speech. These are my flashcards. According to a 2017 report from the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, decades of research show that marijuana's health outcomes, both good and bad, depend on how governments regulate its production and use. In other words, the problem isn't marijuana itself, it's how we manage it. You and I live with these laws every single day. When we drive, when apply for jobs, or even just scroll social media and see how different the states handle this issue. Federal prohibition still limits what products we can trust, how our tax money is spent, and how fair the system really is. Some people argue that legalization increases drug use and puts more impaired drivers on the road. But studies and real-world data show that the opposite. When regulation replaces the black market, safety improves. That's why today I want to convince you that the United States should legalize recreational marijuana nationwide. I'll show you how legalization reduces harm by replacing the illegal market with safer regulated sales, strengthens communities through tax revenue that funds health and education, and promotes fairness by reducing racial and socio-economic disparities in enforcement. Let's start with the issue of safety. According to researchers Jonathan Calkins, Beau Kilmer, and Mark Clayman in their book Marijuana Legalization, What Everyone Needs to Know, published by Oxford University Press, regulation allows for testing, labeling, and age verification. That means consumers know what they're buying, how strong it is, and whether it's safe. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention supports what they call a harm reduction approach. Basically, you reduce risk through education and regulation, not through punishment. Now imagine this slide for a second. On one side, you see how illegal market, and on the other, regulated market. The illegal side has no testing, no age checks, and unknown potency. The regulated side has lab testing, clear labeled THC levels, and strict ID verification. That's the difference legalization makes. When cannabis is legal, it's not just safer for consumers, it's safer for everyone around them. Now let's talk about this affects the bigger picture, our communities. One of the strongest arguments for legalization is the economic impact. In 2023, CQ researcher reported that states like Colorado and Washington generated hundreds of millions of dollars in cannabis tax revenue, and most of that money went straight to treat programs, school construction, and provision education. Politico also reported in 2024 that as the federal government begins relaxing marijuana restrictions, states are finding it easier to stabilize their budgets with this new revenue. Legalization doesn't just bring money, it brings stability. It funds health programs, supports schools, and keeps benefits within the community instead of in the black market. Now, beyond the economy, there's another reason legalization matters: justice and fairness. For decades, enforcement of marijuana laws has not been equal. Ethan Nadelman, writing in Opposing Viewpoints, The Legalization of Marijuana, points out that low-level possession charges have historically targeted black and Latino communities for more than white communities. Even though usage rates are about the same, it's not just about arrests, it's about lifelong consequences. A small possession charge can affect job applications, housing, and even financial aid. The American Civil Liberties Union found in 2020 that black Americans were 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession than white Americans. That's not justice, that's inequality. A 2020 JAMA internal medicine study found that after legalization in Colorado and Washington, traffic fatalities did not increase. So the fear about legalization causing chaos just don't hold up. Legalization doesn't make society reckless, it makes it fairer and smarter. Now let's wrap this up and look at what you can actually do. So today I've argued that the United States should legalize recreational marijuana nationwide. We saw that legalization reduces harm through safer regulated sales. We saw that tax revenue strengthens communities by funding public health and education. And finally, we saw that legalization promotes fairness by reducing racial and socio-economic disparities in enforcement. If you want to learn more, I encourage you to visit cdc.gov and look up cannabis facts and stats. It's a great resource for factual, science-based information about marijuana use. And if you want to take action, go to leg.state.nv.us, that's Nellis, and check out Nevada's current cannabis bills. You can see who represents your district and tell them how you feel about this issue. I leave you with this thought from the ACLU's 2020 report. Ending criminalization is more than a legal change. It's a step toward justice and equality. Legalization isn't about promoting drug use, it's about creating a fair, regulated, and safer society for everyone. Thank you so much.